Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And
Roast.
I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our From Season 4, Episode 9 reaction and review. Can you guys believe the finale is almost here? And then on the
Wild.
other side of the finale, Season 5, the final season. Like, answers may actually finally be coming.
Well, they better be coming. I mean, we only have one season left. If we leave this and we're still like, what happened? I'm not worried. I feel that we are going to get answers.
But in terms of cliffhangers alone, I think this episode gave us more than any other point this season. Like, we have
Yep.
serious questions as to whether or not characters are alive or gone.
Oh, Elgin, what's happening to you, my dude?
Elton just seems like he's constantly the guy who goes outside and then trips immediately. It's just like
know. I relate so much.
I know he's just had bad thing after bad thing and bad thing happen to him. Then everybody hates him, and then he tries to get redemption, and then it's like, oh, now I feel so bad for Elgin. We don't know what's gonna happen to Jade or to Tabitha at this point. They're down in the tunnels. They have made their makeshift talisman wall, I guess, but the monsters are like right on the other side of it.
Yeah, and I mean, they still have this whole escape plan that isn't fully functioning yet, where they're gonna pull out this tree instead of, I don't know, dig down a hole right beside it. This is a big cavern, guys. Why do we have to pull out this tree? Is it because it's the same tree that's in the road? Oh, I don't know.
See, well, this is the thing.
It's very like they're very focused on it. They have to pull this
Yes.
tree right out. I was just like, man, it would be so much easier to dig a hole right beside it, just in case you need that tree for something else. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of questions as to characters and their practical thinking within this episode, and really the last few. And I know that Victor is not always the most trusted source of all these people, but I really come out of this episode being like, you know what, Victor? Same. You're right to be upset about why are you doing this when this tree is tied to so much mythology, and you guys are willing to believe in this bottle tree, but you're not willing to believe that Victor had a serious conversation with the man in white. I know he's technically the boy in white. He's growing up fast, but he had this conversation with him, and the boy in white's the only reason Victor's even survived this long. Like, why wouldn't you trust him?
Listen, Tabitha has used this tree to actually get out. The
Yes.
idea that you're going to take away the only source of freedom that anyone has had. Yes, we know that Dale went through and ended up in a pool, but we also know that Tabitha went through this tree and ended up out.
Yes.
So if that's the case, then why are you ripping this down?
Yeah, and even if you guys do, even if the children are safe, what are you gonna do from there? And like, there's a lot of unanswered questions. I think there's a lot of really fun and interesting stuff that, of course, we're gonna talk through here. But before we do, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are here covering from all season long. And this weekend, if you did not know, House of the Dragon is here on HBO. It has been a very, very long wait, but Jess and I, we are so thrilled to be getting into Team Green versus Team Black once more. We love covering this show.
Team Green.
Team Black.
We are also covering the Vampire Lestat right now. We have Silo coming up in just a few weeks. There is a lot going on here at the channel. So stick with us, hit that subscribe button, and also join our YouTube memberships. It really helps Matt and I here at the channel to be able to continue to bring you these videos. We have some theory videos over there about From as well that you can check out for just our members. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. We really, really appreciate that. Let's just start with putting on some tinfoil hats
All
here,
right.
because I just want to focus on this cliffhanger first and foremost, where Jade and Tabitha, you guys are obviously not dying, or at the very least, you're obviously not dying at the hands of the monsters. Like,
Are they?
okay, I feel like, just based on the Jade dream sequence, that yeah, people can take Jade out, but it seems like it's the residents of the town more so than it is the man in yellow, or directly, like maybe the monsters hold them somewhere else and then maybe the town decides to do something about it. I don't know, but it just feels like directly they're gonna find a way to make it through this. But at the same time, I will admit, I can buy into the monsters not being able to go inside doors or whatever, but the idea that you can just put up a tarp and hang a talisman and you're just like, all good now. I am sitting back and I'm just like, I don't know about this.
I don't know. I mean, they've put this talisman up in doorways of lots of other places. I'm like, I'm not sure if this is really a thing or not, but it has worked out. But I agree. I mean, with Jade's vision, he has not been killed by the monsters in any of them. It's always been townspeople. And
Yeah.
even with Miranda in the past, yeah, there's the man in yellow's like eating her body after she's already gone. And
Yeah.
I don't think that he can kill her either. And I don't think that the monsters can as well. It feels like these two have to have the town turn on them for anything to happen.
Here's one thing I could conceivably see happen on the other side of all of this is that they are able to get the bones, they're able to bring them out, and all of that can be accomplished. But as we established, they don't know what's next. And it doesn't feel
Right.
like, especially because we have another season, that this is the end game for all of this. And because of all this, Sophia, who now very much understands what's going on and understands that they're the people down there, they are performing the ritual that's actually important, is then going to be like, all right, you know what, bad. I'm just going to go out here and I'm going to take out a bunch of people on the surface as vengeance. And then the town is going to be like, Jade, this is your fault. We're going to come and get you now.
Absolutely. I mean, Sophia's in a strange position now because she felt like, okay, they're on the right track, but they have to do it a certain way or they're not going to actually get the answers they need or they're not going to get out. And then as soon as it turned into just Jade and Tabitha, when they really looked at these talisman and they were like, oh, this is a drawing of this underground cavern and these children. There's only two people in here, and that's us. That Sophia was like, oh no, okay, now they're really getting too close. So, Elgin, come on out. We're going to have to take care of some business.
This was the first time for me since the premiere where I really felt like Sophia was fulfilling the desired purpose on this show and actually being like this really dangerous adversary. And I think a lot of that to me is because she actually had stakes. Like there was actual real danger from the town at this point. Sophia is not omniscient, doesn't know everything the moment that it's happening, is just able to use this status within the town in order to eventually get that information. And then because Elgin makes this discovery, and we learned that the man in yellow can only transform into people who have been in the town, that's when she decides to act. But I think at this point, there's no real turning back. I mean, people are going to ask where Elgin is. I mean, presumably, I think he's gone. I know we didn't see it happen on screen.
I feel like he's gone, and this is going to be another situation. I know you guys can be like, "Oh, how could you say that Elgin should be killed?" Because I really like Elgin, and
Yeah.
I also said that Kenny should have died as well. And I actually still stick with that because I
Mhm.
feel like that story didn't actually give any information the way that I thought that it was going to. Uh, I kind of felt like it was just mishandled. However, here as well, I really like Elgin. He's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
But if she just lets him go as well, then we've had three near deaths this season with Donna, with Elgin, with Kenny, that I'm starting to feel like you guys are afraid to kill off important people. And the only person we got rid of is Red Shirt Roger. With the Kenny thing, since we are
Yeah.
talking about that a bit, I have had a hard time with what happened where he actually ended up getting out of this situation alive. I do feel that he should have been killed in that situation. I felt that Fatima was still going to have the information that she has, which is that she was able to kind of control Smiley. Kenny hasn't come back and told her anything. They haven't had any conversation. He hasn't brought back any other information. If he actually ended up dead after that encounter, Fatima still has all of that information. Kenny still has all of the information that every single door had a monster in front of it, and he hasn't shared that with anyone. And I feel like that information is very important for him to have shared. Him going out there, knowing that he has all these exit strategies and every single one is covered by a monster, why didn't he wonder how they knew? And at that point, tell Boyd, listen, I don't know how they knew
Mhm.
that this is what was going to happen, but they knew, and they were at all the doors of all the people that were all waiting for me. How did they know? So that they could start to think that maybe there's a mole in there. Because the first 5 minutes of this episode, where you've got Elgin right away telling Sophia about the plan, I was like, I'm getting kind of tired of this. It's taking away a lot of the excitement of the show, knowing that the bad guy knows everything right away every episode.
There's a couple of issues that are at play here, and I understand there's a lot going on in this
For sure.
community, but at the same time, Kenny, this is pretty important. I think you can pass this information along. Like, you and Boyd have a close professional and personal relationship.
Yes.
Beyond just that, I remain surprised that in general there isn't more conversation about whether or not there could be a mole amongst them in the first place, especially because we've heard all the stories from Victor now about how the man in yellow turned up in town and some of what
Yes.
transpired on the other side of
Yes.
all of that. And I know that, Sophia's just one person. She's the person who has shown up most recently. They may not necessarily just think her exactly, but I feel
No.
like her name would be brought up. But beyond just that, this show has made a point over and over and over again. These people do not shut up about sharing theories to each other about what is going on. Like, they are the meta commentary of all of us talking about theories. And all of a sudden, they're not going to talk about the idea that there may be someone working for the other side within them. Like, that's not something just actively being discussed.
No, this information that Victor shared, that this man in yellow showed up in town like everyone else had showed up in
Yes.
town, and all of a sudden all of these things started happening. Sure enough, here's pictures that he's drawn of this man in yellow
Mhm.
eating his mother's remains. Julie has also seen the man in yellow doing something similar in her story walking. This is real information of past events that have happened in this town.
Yes.
Now you've got something very similar happening. At that point, I don't know why some of the other people in town aren't connecting it to be like, okay, this seems like this is circling again. Who are the most recent, like 5 people that came in here? Let's take a look at that.
If there is any hope whatsoever that this town could be able to figure out this mystery, even if Elgin is no longer with us, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Here is where we turn to Acosta, because you had this story where you were digging around. If there was one photo out there of Sophia, original Sophia, I have to think there's going to be another, or there's going to be something else
Right.
that she's going to find. Like, maybe man in yellow Sophia is going to destroy or get rid of this photo or whatever else. But there has to be some other evidence. Like, there does have to be, number one, a way that this Acosta storyline actually matters, because right now it's gone nowhere in like 5 episodes. Beyond all of that, though, you also have to raise more stakes. If nobody else ever figures this out about Sophia, unless Sophia just comes out and says it, like, where's the excitement? Like, where's the drama here?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen just a couple of people, even one person that's,
Mm,
crying wolf for the whole show. That's like, I think something's going on with Sophia and nobody believes
yeah.
them, to get to the end of this. Everybody's just trusting everything that everyone is saying, even though Victor is given real information that this person showed up in town, these things happened. Now these things are happening again. Okay, cool. Who's the last person that
Yeah.
showed up in town? Oh, it's this person. So maybe we should take a look.
To me, I think the biggest frustration I have with Sophia is just she acts differently in front of different people. And here is where I'm going to make the weirdest comparison I've made in a long time, because Justin and I, we were both watching the season of Love Island. And let's just say you have someone
Yeah, we
who, the new bombshell has entered the villa, and this bombshell decides to go and
How is
talk.
this happening?
She talks to everybody else in the villa, and they present themselves completely different. One of them, they're just like, "Hey, baby, how are you doing?" And then the other one,
Yo.
they just talk completely different, and they share a completely different belief system. It's like Sophia talks
So
to.
it's not like Corbin who's going to everybody and asking for a kiss.
I try to forget about that. Corbin is a robot. This is programming. But it's just like, I feel like Sophia, she does this so many times. Like, she just
Yeah, she does.
doesn't have a singular personality. And whether this is from Love Island, real life, like, anytime someone acts this way, it's immediately suspicious. And even if I don't think they're a mole, I would probably be like, there's something wrong. Don't you people like gossip and talk about other people?
And that's the thing, they don't, right? Nobody shares any information here at all. And because of that, Sophia is able to weave in and out, have these different personalities, do these different things, pull Clara for a chat and be like, hey, let's share blood. Let's put this blood in this thermos. Let's make Fatima drink this blood. Let's go. And she can have that conversation there
Yeah.
and then be, still a young teenager having drinks with Henry
Yeah.
or acting all innocent with Kenny and praying. Like, she's able to do all these things because nobody shares information. And even when they do share
Yeah.
information, like, oh man, I found this bag of teeth in this car. Well, that's weird. No, we ain't gonna talk about this bag of teeth. We ain't even gonna look at this bag of teeth. I'm gonna go do this other thing instead.
This show is such a phenomenon to me in a way where I'm very entertained about it, but at the same time, these people and the way they interact with each other makes me want to just sink into the lake of tears, never to be seen again, because I'm just thinking, what's wrong with you people? By the way, I still believe in the Lake of Tears. I still believe in Ethan. Like, it hasn't really gone anywhere these past few episodes, but I do still legitimately believe, because we're talking all this time about these children, about the roles and saving them, that Ethan does know a lot more than he even realizes. And I think the Lake of Tears is going to be a part of the finale in some shape or form. And I think it's going to be connected to these tunnels.
1,000% Ethan has a way bigger role in this. There's a reason there is only one child in this town, and it is him, and that the other people we see is the boy in white, who now is the man in white, whatever, but he was a boy for a long time. Victor, who was the only boy left in town, the only child left in town, and all the bones are the bones of these children to be able to possibly get out of town. Ethan has a really special role. I feel like there is a reason why no other children have come to town at all.
Yeah, and I feel like they have to set that up at least a little bit in the finale, but other things that should continue beyond this episode. I mean, you mentioned already Fatima and what's going on there. We already know what the blood has seemingly done to Henry, where it's ramping up. He has to take out
visions.
Yeah, all of that sort of stuff. But with Fatima, she's already got, I don't want to call it a superpower, but she's got an ability already in this town. So what is that? Plus her health situation, the fact that she shouldn't even be alive in the first place. Like, how does all of this affect her now moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously sharing a lot more with Smiley, sharing a body basically at this point, because he's not alive and she's apparently not alive either. They're not necessarily morphing into the same person, but they're definitely sharing a lot of the same, genetics.
I think my fear at this point is that Smiley and or the other monsters, they're basically going to be able to just puppet Fatima outright. That now that she has the blood in her, we saw Fatima affect Smiley already. Like, is this just going to increase it to the umpteenth degree where she's still herself and she can still fight it? It's not like you said, it's not like they're just morphing into the same person, but is it something that can happen even just for a brief moment, like enough to like severely disrupt things?
I was actually wondering if this blood that Sophia gave her is going to stop it, that maybe Smiley won't be able to puppet her, but she just won't be able to puppet him anymore. And that we saw this marbling returning because she's drained of her powers, because it seems like that marbling wasn't there before she connected with Smiley to stop him from doing something, and then it started to go away. But now that it's back, I'm wondering if it's just draining her of the power to be able to use that power at all.
I really like that idea, and I think it makes the most sense just because the element of surprise is very important on this show, and it's constantly a battle of wits, and the man in yellow constantly wants to be like 5 steps ahead, right? So it makes sense that he would think, all right, I need to get really far ahead of these people. Fatima, she thinks she has an advantage, so she can sell herself on, I can do this, guys. I can really, really help you. You put her into a desperate situation, and then it doesn't work, and then maybe somebody dies because of her. Even if it's not Jade or Tabitha, like, it could be someone else. Like, I'm sure we're going to lose another person before the season's over.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Sophia's out there being like, let me help with this rope ladder.
I know.
And then she's just like cutting it. So somebody is either going to be trying to get up that ladder to be able to, get out of there, Jade or Tabitha, or somebody is going to think that they have to come down to be able to help, and that person's going to get got.
The person who I feel most confident, and sounds very weird to be confident about somebody meeting their end, is I think Henry's probably going to go. and the finale.
I agree.
And it's twofold. It's number one, if this show gets rid of Victor, and yeah, they do have to get rid of important characters. Everything you said about Kenny is 100% correct. Like, I love Kenny, but this show could have taken him out and it would have been all right. I just think they're not going to want to get rid of Victor. They're going to play it safe with Victor. I think Henry's going to make a move on Victor. He's not going to be of his right mind. Somebody else is going to swoop in and take Henry out, and it's going to completely break Victor, and it's going to be so unbelievably sad.
Okay, I hate to say this.
All right,
But
let's hear it.
they have been foreshadowing that Victor is going to go. And I think that the whole him being like, oh, you're going to be the only boy that's left. I was the boy that was here by myself for so long. This is how I got through it. Let me teach you so that you know how to get through it, because you will end up being in the situation where you are the only boy left. And that would mean then that Victor is going to go, and that Henry is actually going to end up taking out his own son, thinking he's going to be able to go. And of course, that's not going to be the case. I think we actually are going to lose somebody big, and I think it's going to be Victor.
My heart will shatter, but my brain will also be like, I hate it, but it makes some element of sense. And I think the biggest reason it makes sense now, and you've talked about this throughout the season really, is that Victor was left alive because Victor wasn't a problem for the man in yellow.
Right.
Like, he was so buried in everything that happened that he would never talk about it. But now that Victor is out here talking about it, Victor's suddenly a danger. Victor's actually important. Like, what if he remembers or says something else where, even if it's not Henry, and I want to believe that, Henry ends up meeting his demise and that Victor manages to survive, but even if it's not Henry, I think that the man in yellow could still find some other way to get rid of Victor, because that's important now.
Well, that is definitely where the man in yellow is going with this. I mean, even in Henry's dream world, his Victor in this dream world is telling him specifically to get rid of only himself, like get rid of the Victor in this, dream world in From. That it's like, it's not about everybody. It's the anchor. It's just Victor, who is the person who has a ton of information. And yeah, he wasn't a problem before, but you're right, he's a problem now. So how are we going to get rid of him? Oh, we got to convince Henry to just get rid of him.
We're going to get answers on that story one way or another. And I think here's a few more things, by the way, that we need at least an update on before the finale ends, that I remain completely frustrated that this show has forgotten about for 3 weeks now. Starting with Julie, starting with Randall. What is Randall doing? Is he still just like doing chores around the town? I don't understand that part of it at all. I don't know where they're going with Boyd and Abby. We've talked about the parallels with Henry,
Yep.
what's going on there. They haven't really connected it that much on the show. We need a little bit more of that. And Sarah, as much as we hate what they did with Sarah, maybe they hated it too, because they've just completely forgotten about it ever since.
I don't know why they did this to the Sarah character, who
Yes.
is easily one of my favorite characters on this show. Her growth and her story arc has been a 10 out of 10 until
Yes.
that moment where Sophia's just like, oh, I'm playing with my food. I want to see if I can get her back again. Okay, cool. I can get her back again. So I'll just throw her in my back pocket. I just want to see that she will do what I say, and she will. And then we won't revisit it again. And we're just going to destroy this story arc for no gain.
It makes me very sad. Also, I literally just had this pop into my brain, so I'm just going to say this into my
Okay.
worst case fear entering the finale now.
Worse than losing Victor?
Okay, another worst case fear entering
No,
the
losing
finale.
Victor hurts my heart.
What hurts my heart now is now recognizing that Elgin is probably dead. And if Elgin
Oh,
is
he's
dead,
dead.
that means that Sophia can just become Elgin and then can just run around the town as Elgin. And then maybe that is the way to get out of this situation.
Okay, listen, if she ends up being Elgin, then we're gonna go all the way back in a time machine. Beep, bop, 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 boop. Why didn't you become Jim? Why? Why not just become Jim? Like, you could have enough information to be able to get by on being Jim, to be able to actually cause some real damage because people trust Jim.
I just wonder if the show was trying to save money and getting rid of a main cast member saves money. Okay, I said it 25 minutes into this video.
Could be.
I don't know. I'm still wondering that very question as well. But, this is where we are coming out from season 4, episode 9. The finale is right around the corner. We want to know your thoughts, your predictions. Who do you think is going to go next? And also be sure to join our memberships. We have more from discussions there about the Man in Yellow. We really appreciate your support. We will see you here next time.